Made it. Our
Yay!
software was rebelling on us, and then our PC decided to update, so we are now live.
We're here. We made it.
And
Owls, Ryan.
this is Ryan Owls.
I'm,
Owls
I'm
Ryan.
sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
yeah, we're streaming from YouTube. Let us know if our audio is good because I just rebooted and it looks like our meter's good. It looks like it's doing good over here, so our audio should be good. Just let us know. And I will also be monitoring Rumble as well. So if anybody has any questions, I got the live chat opened up over there.
So tonight we are going to be discussing
90 Days Carnivore.
90 Days Carnivore.
And we wanted to make y'all aware of we're going to be on a carnivore live stream. Some of the carnivore community is helping Carrie from Homestead How raise money for his documentary. And it's quite the yeoman's task of what he's trying to do. And I think it's great. He's just a really great dude that's super positive and so we want to help him do that. That's going to be Saturday. That's going to be Saturday, September the 16th, and it's going to be an all-day thing. And
Ryan from
yo, Ryan,
Against the
Ryan from
Grain.
Against the Grain.
Go check out Against the Grain.
Check out Against the Grain if you want to know
Ryan
what's up.
just started a 100-day hardcore carnivore challenge for himself. Strict carnivore for 100 days, and he's going to vlog it. So if any interested in that, he's going to be taking you out on the farm, showing you his chores, and also showing you what he eats every day. I think that's going to be really cool. Where are the boys? Carlos says they're outside in the pool.
The
They've
boys
been,
have been running animals all day, so between cows and pigs and all that cool stuff.
yeah.
So
So they jumped in the pool, and actually, Matt's eaten some. We have some roast tonight.
it was delicious.
I haven't had any yet, but we wanted to hop on here and give y'all a 90-day update.
90-day update. I haven't weighed myself, but I'm continuing to progress. And I'm basically eating. I'm basically eating one meal a day. I do my cold brew coffee with tallow and butter, with 4 to 5 eggs, raw eggs, with an immersion blender, with a teaspoon of honey. So my carb intake is a teaspoon of honey in the morning, and then during the day I'll do an espresso. We have an espresso machine at work, so I do a double espresso with like a half a stick of butter, and it's awesome. And that just carries me through. I eat my dinner. I'll eat a pound or two of red meat for dinner, and everything is still. My shoulder continues to progress.
Yeah.
I kind of severely deviated from my diet.
Y'all can see like the roundness. It used to be like really, really like square, and now it's like rounding out.
Oh, okay. Our schedule on the 16th is 6 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. our time.
Yes. And are you going to be on there, Ryan? I was watching Carrie from Homestead How today. I think he did a live, and he was giving the rundown of all the people that were going to be on there. And I didn't get to listen to the whole list, but it sounds really awesome. And I was listening for your channel to be named, but I didn't hear yours or ours. There's a long list of
Yeah,
people.
and for anybody that talks to Carrie, I'd love to have him on the podcast to interview him to document his success. I think that'd be great. We just, I'm getting very excited. We have a lot of really cool guests coming up on the podcast. It got delayed a little bit because of Matt's shoulder surgery, but that's lined out for this Thursday. So
Yes.
he's going to get all scoped and cleaned up and all that good
Appreciate
stuff.
all the prayers for Thursday.
Yes, thank you.
That would be awesome. Just greatly appreciated. We're hoping for a very simple surgery for
Whoa,
him.
check out Blue Diamond. Check out Bill. Bill said that he's on day 12, and he's down from 226 to
Wow.
215.
Wow.
He's got beef in the crock pot,
That is so awesome.
Bill. And then what I do is just drop some Redmond's real salt or a pat of butter on
Yeah.
there,
And
and it is jamming.
and
Oh
Ryan, we
man.
totally took your tip about the instead of ribeyes, looking for chuck roast, and that's been working out really well
Yeah.
to kind of do that.
Yeah,
So
and we're sacrificing for our customer base because
we're buying some grocery store meat, y'all,
our meat
because
biz has been so successful that people are buying our cow out from under
right,
us.
the cows that
So
we're supposed to have for our family,
yeah, we're supposed to be doing two for our customers and one for us, and
we
this
can't.
month it got sold out from under us.
Yeah.
So
So
we appreciate you all.
so
We're
Aldi.
sacrificing for you.
So I know Bill shops at Crump's up in Linden. For any of you East Texas people, they have great prices on meat, and the way they source it and everything is awesome. And then also Aldi. We got some meat from Aldi today in Mount Pleasant, and the prices were very, very reasonable on specific cuts. So
Yeah.
better than other places that I've looked around. So until we get our cow in, which is going to be a little bit.
It's gonna be a little bit. Yeah, and we have a lot. Matt's going to be. No, the expansion is we're expanding the herd. We're expanding the beef herd. So
Yeah.
we got a 40-acre lease in principle, and now we're just looking for. Well, we're doing a couple different things. We're slowing down a little bit because the boys bought an F-250 and a 24-foot stock trailer.
Yeah.
So to move everything around, which went great today with the large bulls that we were taking in.
It worked out really well today.
Yeah. But we want to financially bootstrap everything. So rather than, and we have other means of capital, but we want to bootstrap it from the beef business. So they're slowing down a little bit. We've been driving all around East Texas looking at herds and picking different ranchers'
Yes.
brains on breeds.
And I think we got the breed narrowed down, so I'm really excited about that. But it's going to be a long play. It's going to be a couple years out
Yes.
for the time we get the cows, and then we're going to be procuring cows probably over quite a bit of time. We're to start the new herd over there, and there's 40 acres over there.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring you all along and document all that. It's going to be really awesome to document that whole thing. It's pretty epic over there. It's really, really
Oh, it's
beautiful.
incredible.
Yeah. And then we still have our herd of Longhorn Mamas back at our ranch. And we did add a little low line. He's not that little, but
He's not that little.
he's a very hefty,
He's very beefy.
low line, super beef guy to that herd. So we're hoping that what that will produce for us next year, hopefully, maybe, is shorter Longhorn Hereford crosses, so just more beef.
More fat, more beef.
Right.
We want to get a fatty breed that has a high conversion ratio, and a smaller cow. If we had to process our own cows, if it ever presented itself,
Right.
a smaller cow with a higher conversion ratio would really be ideal.
Right.
So that's why we're putting in all that thought process. And now that I wanted to find the dirt first before we find the cows. This way we can strike quickly when we
Yes.
find the right deal.
And while we're improving the land over there and building it all back up with the grass and the pasture and all that, we needed a breed that would do really well on poorer conditions, rougher grasses and things like
Yeah.
that. So that was all of our considerations. But anyway, back to our 90-day carnivore update. So you said what you're doing. Basically a meal a day,
Yeah.
2 coffees, fatty lattes.
And we might do like maybe 30 days of meals or something. It's going to be really boring, y'all. The carnivore life
I don't think
food wise is boring
well,
for people that want to be
that
off.
the thing that I bring to the table, I think, is that we're making food for 6 children and the two of us. So, I mean, doing carnivore for a family of 8 is a whole different level. And I don't know that there's a lot of people out there documenting that.
Right.
So, that's really interesting. And, also with just different things that you come up with to do it, to make it all work and everything. I just think that's kind of cool. So, anyway, so any challenges that you've had in the past
I can definitely say that
20 days or so?
on my no challenges, but I had a much higher energy level in the first 30 to 40 days. So that part, still off all the allergy meds, but I think it's seasonal. I'm still affected by allergies, so I feel a little tired. So I think that's why I'm feeling a little tired. But there for a minute, I was in the super zone with like on my energy level and the whole brain fog thing. Now I just feel a little itchiness in my eyes, but I'm still not taking anything.
Yeah. And
And
that's
those when I feel that itchiness, like allergies, that those are the days that I feel a little bit more tired. So I would like to ultimately get past that if it's a possibility. So I'm trying to stay strict now. On Sunday,
oh, confession time. Confession.
okay, on Sunday.
This was his only cheat in 90 days.
And look, if you're going to cheat, it's got to be worth it. All right. So there's the tip.
Was it worth it?
But this incredibly sweet young lady,
He cheated on food, y'all. Not not
yes,
anything, not our marriage or anything.
she made a tres
Just trying to
leches.
just laying the foundation
She made
here.
a homemade tres leches dessert for our fellowship meal at church, and it was so absolutely incredible. So it was worth it. I
Yeah.
felt it in my bad shoulder.
Nobody else did it, only you.
Oh, that's not true. No,
Oh, somebody else cheated?
your 3 oldest sons.
All
Yes.
3 cheated?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, they didn't tell me they cheated.
Well, I watched them. I
Oh,
didn't tell you.
okay.
I watched it happen, like watching a bad
Well,
car
I
accident.
did not cheat on Sunday. I
And it was
haven't
totally
cheated.
worth it. I mean, I've always been very disciplined when it comes to like desserts and junk food. Like to me, it's whoa, what just happened? Oh no, what is? Oh my, what is that? Something's hijacking our computer. That was crazy. Something just jumped on the. Look at that. Uh oh. I
Whoa.
hope it doesn't. I hope this thing is streaming properly. I think somebody. Yeah, something's hacking on our. Something is literally hacking our computer as we're trying to live stream. That's kind of crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know if we should shut down or what have you. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, hold on one second, y'all. It this whole screen went blank and
Well,
then
it was open in the browser and like typing across but it was typing like a bunch of gobbledygook.
yeah.
So I don't know if a button might be stuck down somewhere. Or
So when you
that
cheated
was
with
weird.
your piece of cake,
Trace leches, homemade trace leches.
yes. Did you test your ketones after that? And do you
No.
know how long it took you to get back into ketosis, or what's the deal with that?
No, but I felt it in my shoulder for a good day, and then actually even through yesterday, and it took me till about 3 o'clock today,
Ooh.
and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm back good, and then so I've been doing 30 sets of 30
Yeah.
push-ups,
Well,
and
that's a
I
lot
still
of sugar in trace leches.
yeah I could still do all my push-ups and everything, but it just felt tight and not like it was getting better, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm still doing pretty good. The bump that I had in the last, I guess since we've been on here last, we were at like day 60 or something, I think. The thing that I ran into, the challenge, was that, so we got the little ketone strips and we got the,
so I just wanted to check this out.
uh, I forget what they're called. I forget which brand they are.
Mojo, right?
Mojo keto strips.
Keto Mojo.
They're like $10 for a jar of like 150 little strips. So, what I wanted to see, what my goal was with getting them, was to see were we actually in ketosis? If we ate something specific, would it throw us out of ketosis? How deep? I just wanted to see all of those things and kind of start to measure it because I was feeling like, well, not I was feeling like I was gaining weight. I had actually gained a few pounds back, and I had added in a lot of butter when I did that for like a couple weeks. And then I got really like feeling sick and nauseous, and I was just like, whoa, what's going on? And I gained weight back. So I was like, what's going on? So I was thinking maybe I should go back to in the beginning when we first started. I was still doing like a smoothie a couple times a week, just some berries, like frozen berries, strawberries or blueberries, a scoop of keto friendly powder and water. And I thought, well, maybe I should do that and not eat so much. I figured out in those couple weeks that I was overeating protein, and that actually is possible, especially for smaller people like me, women, older women, that everybody's different of how much protein you need. And I was definitely overeating protein. I was just eating a lot. So I cut back on my protein. I found that I did not have to add back in the smoothie. And I started testing, and my bump in the road was that when I tried adding in a stick of butter, and it bumped my ketones up to 16, which is like super duper high, deep, deep ketosis. And it stayed there for over 2 days. And then I took the butter out. It kind of sort of came back down to like an 8. And then without adding the butter back in, it just went back up to 16. And I was just like, I don't even know. I feel great. I'm exercising. I feel really good. I'm not going to really worry about it. And now I figured that it just keeps fluctuating. So I'm not doing this stick of butter a day. I am adding butter like onto my hamburgers or onto my beef when I eat. And I just have like an eating window. So I usually don't start eating till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I'll finish it up if I feel like eating something at dinner time. That'll be my eating window, and then I'm done. So I am putting butter on that. I'm loving putting my tallow in my coffee. That is a big game changer. In the morning, I just take like, it's probably equal to 2 or 3 tablespoons of tallow, put it in my coffee, blend it up, a little cinnamon, a little vanilla, and that holds me until 1 o'clock really, really well. And then I eat, and but I'm not overeating. I reduced my portions, and everybody's different. I know Ryan from Against the Grain was saying he has trouble right now because he's at his ideal weight, and he's feeling like he's got to push himself to eat so much more than what he really wants because his body needs more and he wants to gain weight. So everybody's different. But yeah, for my activity level and all of that, I just needed to cut back the protein. And now it's like it fluctuates. Sometimes it goes up to 16, and then this afternoon it went down to 4, and I'm not doing anything different. Now, I did notice that the Relight, if I don't drink the Relight, because we have the flavored ones with the stevia in it, the stevia sweetener in the Relight does affect my ketones. So, like today, I had like 2 or 3 big 32-ounce jars of the Relight, and my ketones went down to a nice happy 4, which is great. I like being there. But if I don't drink it at all, just drink water, I'll go to 16. So it's my body's still leveling out with all of that.
Boneyard says add a little fruit, and we have really awesome. I got a strawberry emerald fig that is ripening. It is absolutely unreal. Maybe I haven't been posting any fruit pics. Maybe I'll do that on the Twitter, which is now known as X. Maybe I will post fruit pics on the Twitter. Might do that.
Yeah. So
I have lots of fruit
I
pics.
did feel really good when I was having my fruit smoothie. I told y'all what's in it. It's like 3 ingredient, right? But I did feel good when I was having that real early on. So I would have that like at lunchtime or make it really, really thick, like an ice cream consistency for dinner or after dinner, like a little snack.
Move that light. It's,
So I'm not afraid to, have some berries and it would just be like meat based keto, I guess.
that's
But I haven't had any for a while. Like I don't feel like I really need it. Now, this afternoon I tried probably for the first time in a few weeks. We have a heavy cream, like a very high fat coconut milk that I canned coconut milk that I make. I put in like 6 eggs into it and I make an ice cream for the kids. It's like a keto recipe ice cream for the kids and it's just sweetened with a little teaspoon of honey, and I had that, and that coconut milk I think tore up my stomach.
I
So,
could, yeah.
and that
Sometimes the fats.
I used to love that before. Like I could have that before and it wasn't a problem. But right after I ate that today, my stomach was torn up and I'm like, "Oh, I'm probably sensitive to that coconut." So, whatever. We're
So
learning.
Arfia, well, here I'll just put it on the
Uh-huh.
screen. She's saying, do you know what is a good ketone level? I mean, in my opinion, everybody's different, so people will respond differently to different levels of ketones. So that's why I think it's really important, and that's kind of the beauty of like knowing what is what, because that's what I keep telling my wife is like, if you feel good, don't
Right.
sweat the ketone stuff. If you
Right.
feel good
I'm
and your
not
energy's good,
like trying to chase ketones or figure out, or like it's not the higher the better. It's definitely not that with ketosis. So technically, like nutritional ketosis is between point 0.5, zero is not in ketosis, but point 0.5 to, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or 8. That's a good nutritional point of ketosis. It's going to differ for everybody, and it's going to differ probably hour by hour. It might be higher in the morning or lower in the morning and then higher later. So, but anything from point 0.5 up is good nutritional ketosis. Anything like 8 and then 16 is considered ketosis, and it's usually not achievable unless if you are serious fasting like water fasting, or you're being led by guided by a doctor and you're treating like autism or you're treating cancer or something very very specific, is the reason to be like 8 to 16 for like a medical state of ketosis. It's very risky. I don't want to say dangerous, but it's very risky to stay and remain in those high states of ketosis very long, is what mostly everybody agrees on. They want you to be like back in the happy medium, and it's not the higher the better. It's either you're in ketosis or you're not. And I think that it's really cool to have the little strips because you can really
well,
play around with
yeah,
it and
and you're not
see.
poking yourself in the finger. I'm just not into the all that stuff. I can't jab myself in the finger all the time. It kind of skeeves me out.
Yeah.
So cancer is the concern. What do you mean as far as like cancer treatment or getting cancer from being in a high ketosis state? Because from everything that I understand, it's a higher the ketosis state is anti-carcinogenic,
I think she's saying that, yeah,
or
she
maybe
has
because
cancer.
so if you have cancer,
Yeah,
well, don't. I mean, we're retarded, y'all. I mean,
yeah,
if you have cancer, don't uh, consult a pro. And when I say a pro, I mean there's lots of good holistic doctors out there that are treating cancer with carnivore,
yes.
but definitely
I-
don't ask us.
If you
I
just
mean,
look up Arfia, if you just look up cancer and carnivore, you're going to get all kinds of videos and doctors that are having success
Yeah.
with using carnivore. But you're probably going to want to work with one of those doctors and maybe your own doctor. And
Yeah, and Sean Baker, what's that app? I think they rolled it out now. So I think Sean Baker has, is it called like Revo or what was it called?
yeah,
That
Rivera.
yeah. So check out Dr. Sean Baker. He was an orthopedic surgeon. He basically coined the term, and he's been carnivore for 7 years
Yeah.
now. But his network can put you in contact.
Rivera Health, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if you type in cancer and carnivore, you're going to probably find
Oops,
some
why is this not scrolling down? Sorry about
different
that.
doctors. I've listened to some amazing doctors speak to the effects of a carnivore diet or a highly, highly ketogenic diet and the effects with cancer. Actually, Kelly Hogan has interviewed a couple people that have given their testimonies on the carnivore diet and how it's impacted their cancer. And it's just been incredible. You can type in Kelly Hogan, cancer, carnivore, and you're probably going to get a couple testimonials that way too, which are really impactful.
Yeah, I mean there was that one lady that has like four different kinds of cancers, and she's been carnivore, and then there was just one that I saw today, and he was given like I don't know 3 months to live or
Oh,
something,
wow.
and he's went carnivore, and
Yeah. I mean, the sugar feeds the cancer.
yeah,
Everybody knows that. So,
everybody will agree with that. So if obviously if you can one eliminate the sugar, two you get to this state of ketosis where you're generating any glycogen that's necessary from your fat stores is the best way that I would explain it,
yeah.
So that way you're not you're not feeding the cancer, you're feeding your body.
Right. Yeah. And I would say the only other thing that's changed in the last probably about 20 days for me has been getting up and moving. And so after I eat, I try to get up and move, go for a walk. And I just try to do it like, okay, I'll challenge myself like just 5 or 10 minutes. After I eat, okay, I finished eating, let me just go for a walk. And then that kind of led to now it's like a 30-minute walk. And then I've been listening to Dr. Baker in the past couple weeks, and he's been talking about sprints, 30-second sprints.
High impact interval
So
training.
I'll walk, and then, a few times during that walk, I'll
I'm
do
sorry,
like
high intensity.
30-second or more sprinting. And boy, I mean, I can just feel it. Like, I just feel really, really good. I feel so much better. And the mental clarity that has brought is just like, I mean, my hormones are balanced out. I'm not as emotional at all. I'm just very, very balanced and steady, I feel like. And my cycles are good. Everything just feels really, really good. So that's been awesome.
You're reminding Carlos is going to
Attracting.
dust off his spikes.
Well,
You're reminding him of his
it's
track and
just
field
me
days.
sprinting around the pond in the back. But it's super fun. And I'm just, yeah, I'm feeling really good. I don't know. Oh, I can see. I forgot.
Listen
This
to this,
testimonial,
y'all. Okay.
Now, I'm not the only one
This is totally true.
who has
So.
had improved eyesight with this. And so I know a couple years ago when I had my blood work done, the only thing that I was technically deficient in was vitamin
Vision.
D. No, I was extremely low in vitamin D. Like scary, like the scary low
Probably.
of vitamin D, which is because I was not hardly eating any meat.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going outside very much, different seasons or whatever. So, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that my vitamin D levels are back up to where they need to be, but I can see, and I was always having to wear my little reader glasses, and then I had to increase it and get like higher level reader glasses. And I could not see anything. I couldn't see like to read my Bible. It was just all blurry. I could not see. I couldn't see to like read my little kids' stories at night. I would always have to tell one of them, like, go find my glasses, go in the kitchen, go get mommy's glasses so I can read, you know? Or at church when we're singing in the hymnals, I could not see. I would have to dig out my glasses out of my purse. And even now, this is how recent it is, like less than a month ago, when I was at the baby shower, I had two pairs of glasses on my head at the same time. I was that old lady, okay? Because I had like one pair of glasses sitting on my head and I forgot. And I went to read the little game and I couldn't see it. So I took another pair of glasses out of my purse and put them on so I could see
Meemaw.
the little game. And I didn't realize I had other glasses on my head. So, anyway,
Oh
so
boy.
as far as that recent, and about 2 weeks ago, I noticed I was at church and I forgot my glasses because I just naturally wasn't grabbing them as much. I would have to use them. I would have to have glasses to read anything on my phone. And so I forgot them. And I was like, I can see most of the words here, like 90 some percent of the words I can see. Once in a while, I blur a word in the hymnal, but basically I could see them. And the same with my Bible. And now, like, I can see fine. I can see perfectly fine. Like, I'm reading the same stories that I was reading to my kids before, and I couldn't see the words, and now I see the words perfectly fine. Same with my Bible, same with the hymnal this week. Like, just, I can see. Like, all the words are clear.
Pretty crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
It just shows you how many things and challenges and struggles we have that are directly tied to your diet,
Yeah.
and and that if you just change your diet, you can see improvement. So why wouldn't you at least try? And don't self sabotage yourself and try but don't really try that. A lot of people, definitely carnivore diet isn't something that you want to half do because that will really mess you up, y'all. Because if you're still on the sugar train and all that stuff, and you're supposedly trying to carnivore or fake yourself out or fake somebody else out, definitely don't do that. But why wouldn't you at least try it for 30, 60, 90 days? It's definitely not going to kill you, and you may get better.
Absolutely. And like I tell my older boys, like, if you're going to cheat on something, cheat on fruit. Like, you can cheat on fruit and just,
Or if it's like an incredibly ridiculously good
no,
Trace Leches
that's
cake,
not okay. That's not
yeah,
sanctioned.
that's incredible.
That's definitely
And
not
it's
sanctioned.
worth it.
No.
Now, you don't want to do it every day or every week or maybe even every month, but every blue moon, it's totally
Well,
worth it.
Dr. Barry says that once a year, when it's him and Nisha's
Oh
anniversary,
boy.
they have a piece of cheesecake together, and he
Well, I
knows.
wouldn't waste it on cheesecake, but anyway. Trace Leches, yes.
So
Well, not
there's
any
certain
Trace Leches
special
either.
occasions
This
that
Trace
you
Leches
might
was
break the
incredible.
rules, but make it a very, very special occasion. So,
I would like to thank that kind young lady that made that most excellent Trace Leches cake. So
so anyway, let's move
it was
on.
kind of incredible. But it makes it that much more incredible, y'all. If you're changing your eating habits and patterns and they're helping you, and then when you do, like, oh wow, here's an incredible opportunity to eat an incredibly delicious dessert, and then you can do that, you'll suffer the consequences of it.
So you have to decide if that's
There
worth
are
it.
consequences to the choices we make, but sometimes it's worth it. All right.
Yeah, you have
It
to
was
decide
incredible.
if it's worth it or
And I
not.
paid the piper for a day, but it was worth it. I'm not going to do it every day. I'm
Yeah.
not, I wouldn't probably do it again in the near future
Yeah.
because I like feeling good. I like sleeping good. It didn't affect my sleep or anything. Still slept good, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
So you're sleeping good, you're feeling good, you're losing weight, your body is like reverting back to you're like 30 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
not going to show y'all, but it's pretty amazing. And you're able to
Yeah,
exercise, do push-ups, just
yeah,
do
just do
things.
push-ups. I'm not exercising yet. I want to get back there to where I'm really exercising, and I want to do maybe some like weighted lower body, like high intensity stuff, but I just still haven't done it yet. I want to start implementing that. We've been crazy busy and everything is just like going 90 miles an hour. And I want to get into some type of cyclical routine where I'm doing some kind of high impact. And the sad thing is that Matt was pretty pumped. He was like, "Yeah, let's start lifting together." Right before, like the day or two before he had this shoulder setback, we were planning on going to the gym together. So we've had
Yeah.
this little setback, and but a setback's only a setup for a comeback, y'all. So
That's
remember that.
right. That's right, Blue
Setback
Diamond.
is only a setup for a comeback. So
That's
we're
right.
coming back.
Yeah, and I think that you just give yourself grace. Like Blue Diamond said, he fell off the wagon. He had some dark chocolate, but it was just a little bit. Otherwise, he's strict. And I think if you're strict with yourself, as a whole, and you're moving towards your goals and you're reminding yourself what you're doing, then once you get to where you're going, like
Exactly.
Ryan from Against the Grain, he met all of his goals. He was like, okay, I'm good. So now he has new goals. Now his goals
Yeah.
are he wants to get in really good shape. I mean, he's a lot younger than us, and he wants to put on weight, muscle. So he
Yeah,
has different goals.
and if you're really high intensity, you kind of burn through that. Doesn't make it healthy or whatever, but it does make it very different. And not that I'm going to start binging or anything anytime soon,
No,
but
we're in the
it's
other
not
category.
like, it's not like, you can enjoy life.
Uh-huh.
You just don't want to do it all the time.
Right, right,
It's
right.
just, you're not going to die instantly, but
So what happened to Matt's shoulder? He had shoulder surgery 2 years ago, because his labrum was all torn up and
disappeared.
had to get restructured. And then, what's it been like a few weeks ago, he was in the pool swimming, and he got in just the right position, and
Somehow
it,
a piece of cartilage broke off.
yeah,
But all the reconstructive surgery is still good. It was like the best case scenario,
yeah.
so he's going to get it uh, extracted out
Yeah.
of there.
And
And
thankfully, he hasn't been in a whole lot of pain. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
And so God is good. We're very
Yeah.
thankful for all that.
Yeah.
And
Well, appreciate your
and that's on
prayers for
Thursday. So
Thursday.
keep praying and for a quick, speedy, full recovery. And then we're gonna hit the gym or whatever. We'll see. As soon
After,
as
he's probably going to be about 6 weeks, I would guess,
probably, yeah. I
for
wouldn't push it
recovery.
before then anyway. Just let everything settle back down and heal
Yes.
back up. And he's gonna be carnivore, so it's gonna heal quick.
Yeah, he's doing
And
great.
it's
The
gonna,
the big boys are all doing great. The little ones are doing great.
yeah. Everybody's staying the
We went
course.
through like a bacon phase, like so in the beginning of carnivore. I know we're still in the beginning. We're only 90 days in, y'all. But like for those first couple months, we just got like a lot of bacon from the store. It made everybody happy to have bacon. So we just did that. And then about a couple weeks ago, we just kind of all felt like we're good. Like we don't
Yeah.
need any more bacon. We're fine. So we cut that off of the grocery list, and then we added in butter, and the butters made everybody really happy. My oldest one, he loves putting it in his coffee in the morning. I know you like it
It's
with the
incredible, y'all.
tallow. I think Matt started doing the tallow in his coffee in the morning too. I think he does both.
Yeah, tallow and butter. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And the eggs. It depends on how strong you like your coffee, but it takes the edge off and it takes the bite, even the cold brew, and it's so good
Yeah.
with the eggs and the tallow and the butter. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. So, and then I
And a
think,
teaspoon of honey.
in the beginning, we just ate as much meat and eggs and everything as we wanted to eat. And we did give ourselves grace with having frozen fruit. Like we would have frozen blueberries in a bowl, or, That didn't last super duper long, but my kids, my little ones, in the past couple weeks reverted back to the frozen blueberries again,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been eating more frozen
Mm-hmm.
blueberries. And they're little. I mean, I think that that's good. I think that their energy level is very high. They use up that sugar, and they're metabolically healthy. So I have no problem with my little ones. I think even Dr. Barry's little ones eat more of like a keto diet with, meat, eggs. They do cheese. We don't do cheese, but, berries, that kind of thing. So I think that's totally good. And yeah, I mean, it's been so simple. It's been so simplistic,
Yeah.
you know, and
We've always been kind of like simple whole foods people, but it makes meal prep, it makes planning, it makes prepping in general very simple.
so easy. I was telling my girlfriend this week.
Oh, Bill wants to. Well, here, Bill, it's because I drink I drink coffee in a 32-ounce jar.
Yes.
So I have about 18 ounces of cold brew coffee in there, and then I'll have 4 or 5 eggs, and then I take. So the way you want to do your tallow and butter is I take a tiny little saucepan, and I put a half a stick of butter and a heaping tablespoon of tallow in there, and I melt it, and then you pour it
Oh.
in there because it's cold brew. Now if it was hot coffee, you just dump it in there and mix it. But
So
it's
how much
incredible.
butter?
A half a stick.
A half a stick of butter,
Half a stick of butter,
a
and then like a
heaping spoon,
heaping tablespoon of tallow,
and 5 eggs.
5 eggs, and a teaspoon of Texas Boys honey.
Right. But you don't know about the honey for everybody because that might throw you out of ketosis,
Right, but
depending.
even if it threw you out of ketosis,
How long is it going to
ketosis
take you to
isn't
get
the
back
yeah,
into
and
it, though?
ketosis isn't the be all to end all
No,
either.
it's not. But it's if you're doing a ketogenic diet, the goal of that would be in ketosis. If you're not in
Well,
ketosis, you're not doing a ketogenic diet. I mean,
yeah,
that's the definition.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you don't have to be
I'm carnivore, not a
constantly.
ketovore.
Well, I'm just saying, carnivore is a ketogenic
Just
diet.
raw eggs, tallow, butter,
He's the only one who makes it like that.
teaspoon of honey.
I just do.
Matt puts honey in his coffee.
Does he?
Yeah, way more than I do.
Matt's 18.
Matt's a honey crackhead.
So Matt does tallow and butter. I just do
I promise you,
tallow.
James puts honey in his coffee.
Yeah, they
Promise you.
probably do. I do just tallow, and I don't sweeten. I don't do honey at all. It doesn't even taste good to me anymore. The honey, sweet things just taste like way, way, way too
Well, that's
sweet.
what's incredible is
Like-
like you need such a minimal amount.
Yeah. Oh, the other huge game
Uh-oh.
changer.
She
in
can
the
walk on
past-
water.
No, is the waffle maker. So if you all have little ones, or even if you're a little one at heart, my carnivore friend, my hardcore carnivore friend, told me to get a waffle maker, and you just mix up your eggs like scrambled eggs. You put in like a half a teaspoon, depends on how many you're doing, like a half a teaspoon of baking powder. And
works.
I put in just
Pretty
a little
fascinating.
bit of cinnamon and vanilla into it, which is not carnivore. I know. Don't beat me up. But you mix that up together. So, okay, it's like scrambled eggs, cinnamon, vanilla, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and put it in the waffle maker that's very well buttered. And it makes a beautiful waffle. Like, beautiful. It tastes a little like scrambled eggs, a little bit. Like, it's not a flour waffle. But my little ones, I don't eat them. Because to me, it kind of tastes like scrambled eggs. But to them, it looks like a waffle, and it tastes awesome. And they eat waffles
Perpetually.
many times a day. They make their own waffles, and they eat them, and they do drizzle honey on their waffles. So there's like these different things that you make concessions for as a family. I think to do anything long term, you have to be flexible, and not flexible in the point that you're not doing it and you're faking
Well,
yourself
it's just
out.
like anything. You don't have to be so puritanical that you're setting yourself up to fail. Now, I mean, if you had a severe chronic illness or if you had a cancer, I mean, when you have,
Yeah.
or if you had like major heart attack or blockages or stuff, the reason God gives you those wake up calls is so that you will adjust your diet to extend your life. So
Right.
now, if you had a life threatening illness,
Right.
that's some good motivation to be ultra as strict as humanly possible.
Hmm.
But other than that, I mean, you know,
You want to be overall healthy. You
yeah,
want to
yeah,
feel
you want to
good.
be healthy, but it's not like, yeah, you don't have to be this like super hardcore like if I don't do it perfectly, I've failed, and it's not like 75 hard. You don't have to start over again.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I
And I haven't read 75 hard.
I don't
All
know what
these
it
guys at
is.
work talk about it, and I did get the book. Somebody gifted me the book, but I haven't read it. But yeah, I think it's got profanity in it, so I don't know if I'm gonna read it or not. But
Nice.
yeah, somebody's like, "Hey, that book's got a lot of profanity in it." I was like, "Oh, cool,
Yeah.
weird." But
So,
this is postmodern 2023, so
heart disease runs in my family, and drinking butter just sounds scary to me.
bro, the
Yeah.
butter lubes your arteries. You'll be alright.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm not a
High
doctor.
fat. High fat is very, very good.
Yeah, fat is
Just,
not the bad guy. Eggs, one thing that modern big pharma has taught us is that everything that they recommend
mm-hmm,
literally do observe the masses and do the opposite.
mm-hmm,
So if they recommend a statin, you don't want that. If they recommend low fat, you don't want that. If they
mm-hmm,
recommend bugs, if they recommend high pea protein,
mm-hmm.
I love all these vegans that are, and these there's this one guy, and he's now a musclehead or whatever, but he's all about the ethical treatment of animals, and
Mm-hmm.
he's made all these gains through, I don't know, pea protein or whatever. I call
Mm-hmm.
bologna on all of it, but it's just interesting. But
Yeah.
observe the masses and do the opposite.
And I think the big thing for success too, like I know for me it was like listening constantly in the beginning. I haven't been doing it for the past few weeks, but in the beginning I listened constantly to anybody that I would resonate with, whether it was Dr. Barry or Dr. Chafee, or I mean, there were so many doctors, I don't even remember all of their names, but and then just anybody in the field that was just like Kelly Hogan or the Steak and Butter Girl or just all the different ones, whatever I was in the mood for, Carrie from Homestead How, or whoever. And I would just listen to them all throughout the day. And it was just so encouraging because, you don't really know anybody else other than, I mean, you might not even have family support. We are all doing it as a family, which is wonderful.
I think it's fascinating. I don't even think the trend would exist if it wasn't for social media. And here's why. It literally is antithetical to the preponderance of big health, big pharma, and all this stuff. So it is the opposite. And they're like, wait a minute, you're literally saying to do the diametrically opposed opposite.
Hmm.
And the only reason that and it's still a minority, but the only reason a larger group of people would even be willing to do it is because of all of the success that people are having.
Sure.
It's what makes it so
Hmm.
fascinating. And that's what's kind of even more interesting and incredible is you'll have all these testimonies of all these people. And I've been doing this for 7 years, and they're like, oh, you better be careful, man. I mean, that carnivore thing's okay for a couple months, but basically in the third or fourth month you're just going to die and drop dead and all this stuff.
Right.
And time has proven this stuff out now,
Hmm.
and more doctors are getting on board with all of these different types of to fight different types of diseases.
Hmm.
And we all know that the standard American diet is total trash. We all know that America as a whole is obese. We know myplate.gov is a Barry Soetoro and Michael
Hmm.
uh, propaganda thing. And, and that goes with all the other recommendations and the
Yeah.
new recommendations, the new health recommendations
Right.
that are being rolled out.
Yeah.
Again,
And then also, I mean, we were Whole Foods single ingredient for so many years, and we did plant based heavily for so many years, and we did the vegan diet, and we did 80-10-10, which is,
Graham,
you
Daniel
know,
Graham's book.
yeah, and it's like, very fruitarian, and we've done all of these different crazy diets for years. I mean, probably the past 18 years. But
Yeah.
it's all been some variation of whole foods, organic, just trying to do things like that. And then what happened with us was just different health things, like massive health things, just kept failing us.
Yeah.
And, in the past 3 years, we've had sickness every 60 to 90 days. We've had a plague run through our house that knocks out the whole family for about a month. And that's
Except for the
been,
last 90 days.
yep. And last,
Broke the cycle.
yep, this
Yeah.
changing this last thing, going carnivore was what finally broke the cycle for us to not be horribly sick, our whole entire family, for 30 days and ending up at the doctor's office on steroids and everything else. So, and then you had your shoulder deteriorating, massive arthritis. The doctor's like, I don't know, this doesn't make sense. Dental problems with me and all of my younger children, just massive dental problems. And that was Whole Foods, organic, single ingredient. The only desserts are like cooked, made from scratch,
Yeah.
a couple times a week. We did dairy. We had our own dairy cows, 2 dairy
Yeah.
cows.
A2, A2, blah, blah, blah.
A2A2.
All
We
this
did
stuff.
all
Yeah.
of our own ice cream and yogurts
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, even with all of that, I ended up down at the cancer hospital 5 years ago with, thyroid goiters like coming out of my neck. And, we just had lots of health concerns
Yeah.
still
Just
going on.
old and tired.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we felt tired, we felt awful. I was definitely, I don't know if I was depressed, but like
Well,
discouraged.
yeah, you just chalk it up to like, wow, it really does suck. Getting old. This is terrible.
Yeah. And I would say for the last 90 days, it's like the opposite.
Yeah, it's like, bring it on. Let's go.
It's like,
Ryan wants to know about heavy whipping cream. Ryan, if you can find a decent heavy whipping cream that doesn't have carrageenan in it and a bunch of other nonsense, I would say go for it.
yes.
You know?
Yep. Look at the ingredients. If it has monoglycerides and
Yeah.
triglycerides,
But a
you,
good heavy whipping cream
if
it
the
will do the
yes.
trick. High fat.
If it's cream, you want the
Yeah,
ingredient
ramp
to
up the
be
fat.
cream. And if you tolerate it, and you're going to know if you tolerate it or not.
Right, yeah.
You
If
know,
you get an
some-
allergic reaction and a post nasal drip, obviously I would cut it out.
Yeah, or a stomach ache, or
That's just me.
you're gonna be very hypersensitive to things, and it's gonna continue to change as time goes on. Like I said, tonight I had that heavy coconut cream ice cream,
And
and it was just
Teresa
like,
wants
tore
to
me
know,
up.
like, if the chickens eat certain things, is it less? I mean, it's not. I mean, I would want to have eggs from chickens that eat good stuff,
Yeah.
but
Don't worry about that. Just eat the eggs. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. We do what you can do, the best that you can do. Make sure that it's doable. This has to be sustainable, and it has to be doable. And if you're paying $5 a dozen for
yeah,
eggs,
yeah,
it's
like
probably not going to be
like for example, I
sustainable.
mean, we were eating organic, but you know what you want, but you take what you get. In a family of 8, we couldn't always be puritanical on everything. So what we would focus on what we would eat more of, and then the lesser stuff, you roll the dice, so to speak, and you take a flyer on it because, like,
Mhm.
hey, we can't buy everything
Right.
organic,
And
and
just
the
here
label's a little bit of a
recently, I mean, I have 90 laying hens out there. And right now, with the heat and the drought, they've really slacked up on laying eggs. And I put away over 600 eggs from the spring. I put them in lime water and we went through all 600 of those eggs
gone.
too. So now that we're only getting like maybe 10 eggs a day, it's not enough eggs. So I'm buying eggs from the grocery store right now, and that's fine. There's no shame in the game. The weather will change, it'll cool off. All those hens will start laying again. It'll be fine. But, I'm looking at eggs, the healthiest eggs that we can get at the price that works because I have to buy a lot of eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you have to make it make sense and you just do the best you
Yeah, you got
can.
to be practical, and
Yeah.
that's the same thing with the enjoying life. And I know a lot of people will take that whole enjoying life and abuse themselves with food as well.
Right, right, right,
Christians and certainly Baptists are really great at that, of like becoming
right,
super fat sick people,
right.
and just claiming like if I pray over it, it's like this unicorn dust
Right.
that makes it magically delicious or
Well,
something.
I think that you have to like define your special occasions. And me and my girlfriend, who's carnivore, we're talking about this. They're coming up on a year being carnivore, and her husband are about 10 years older than us. They've cured all of their issues, mental, physical, diabetes, all kinds of things. They've come off of all kind of medications, and she was saying her standard for her is that she's not going to bring it in the house. So if it's something that is like a special time, it's you and your husband's anniversary or whatever, and you're out and you're going to say, we're going to have this piece of chocolate cake together because it's our anniversary. But the special, that's fine. It's a very rare time, right? Or say if it's Thanksgiving and you have a piece of pumpkin pie or something, that's your exception to the rule. But your exception to the rule can't be like every time I drive into town, I pick up a box of donuts. Like, that's not special. That's not
Right,
an exception to the rule.
right.
Or my exception to the rule is I have, whatever, fill in the blank in my cabinet, bags of M&Ms and M's, and I just eat them on occasion. That's not a special occasion. That's a lifestyle choice, and
Yeah.
you've drugged that back to your house with you. So,
Yeah, and it is like crack. You'll get hooked on it again, y'all. So why go
yeah,
through all of the effort and feel so good and achieve and do all that just to get stuck back on
yeah,
the sugar crack thing?
yeah.
And we weren't even like sugar crack people, but I mean that stuff is very much designed to be addictive.
Yeah, it's hard to moderate. Well, I definitely can't moderate carbohydrate things. If it's there, I'll eat all of it. Like, and if it's pumpkin bread, I'll eat pumpkin bread for 3 days straight, breakfast, lunch, and dinner until it's gone. If it's donuts at the donut shop, I'll go to the donut shop when they're closing because I know they're going to give me 2 extra boxes of free donuts, and we'll just eat them until they're all gone, even though it'll make you feel sick. Whatever it is, it's just very hard for me to moderate things. Like, if I let myself stop at the pizza shop, I'm going to go to the pizza shop like twice a week. Like, it's just, I can't open that door.
And there's an ease with all that junk food too. There's just an ease of it, and it's real easy to get sucked back into that as well. And it's very expensive, so all the more reason to not do it.
Yeah. And my
And
friend said somebody at church this week there was a bunch of pies and desserts and everything at church. And somebody brought her a pie and it was her favorite kind and they gave it to her. So she had like
bummer.
one slice of this pie. It's the first she's had in a year of being carnivore, and she said she took the pie home because she wanted to be nice and everything, but when she took it home she threw it right in the trash because she's like, I will eat that whole entire pie. Like, if I keep it, I know that. And Kelly Hogan had a funny thing I was telling her. It's like, she said in the beginning, she would take dish soap. Like, if somebody gave her something, and she knew it was going to tempt her, she would take liquid dish soap and just put it all over and then put it in the trash. Because she
Really?
said then
That was, she couldn't pick it out of the
that's
trash.
why she couldn't pick it out of the trash. Because she's like, I would have gone and picked it out of the trash and eaten it. So you have to do those brave things, and they're extreme, but you do. I mean, if you want to keep moving forward on your goals,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, do you want to feel like crap, or do you want to feel good? I mean, it's kind of that's what I think is the coolest part of the whole way of eating is it's a self-regulating system. When you cheat, you feel nasty. And so then it comes down to, do I want to feel good or do I want to feel bad? And that's easy. If I want to feel bad, I go back to eating the way
Huh.
I was eating. And if I want to feel good, I continue eating the way I know that makes me feel good, and not feel good in like I got a sugar high, or feel good in like I'm depressed, so I'm going to eat myself happy, but feel good like I have energy, I feel healthy, I feel better, I sleep better, and all that stuff.
Yep. And let's speak about the hormones for us. You know, ladies, it balances out our hormones. For the men,
Thank you.
it highly increases your testosterone level.
But the other thing it does is it adds a layer of clarity to men when they can communicate with their spouse, who is a biological female, by the way. Sorry, postmodern scientists, okay? But it's a rather wonderful experience when your wife's hormones are in balance
Yeah.
and neurons are firing in a rational way,
Yeah.
where wonderfully beautiful, normal ideas and thoughts and feelings are flowing like a fountain of love.
Yeah. It's
It's a
way
beautiful
easier.
place.
Yeah, I mean, I think when everything is balanced out, you know, you eat that high fat diet, that throws that cholesterol into your system, that balances out your hormones. It helps your thyroid, which helps everything in your body function better. Your brain is functioning better, you're sleeping better, everything is functioning at an optimal level. So, you know, your testosterone is functioning at a thriving level. So that helps everything.
Mm-hmm.
And not that it wasn't before, but it really, like, I mean, you just feel like
Feel good.
you're back in
I
your
used to be
30s
bald,
again.
but all this hair grew back. No, I'm joking, y'all. But
So it's just been great. Like, all the way around, it's been great. I've noticed a big difference in our 14-year-old son, too. Since starting this, his hormones and emotions would really take him for a ride at different times. And I would have to sit down and have talks and say, look, it's just your hormones. You're just being emotional, you know? And that has all stopped. Like,
that's true.
he is just super flat, straight and narrow. Not that there's never ever a like a 14-year-old issue where you have to say, like, you need to go clean up your stuff or whatever, but as far as the emotional roller coaster stuff, like, that is just not there. Like, it's just gone, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been
Well, it's been
great.
an hour, y'all. So I think we're going to sign off. We got to do life things. And yeah, it's past 8. So I got to get ready to sleep. Yeah, Wilmer's mom went keto, and she's doing great on it. So
Lost a ton of weight, feels incredible. Each to their own, I guess. She tried so many diets, and this is the diet for her, apparently.
awesome sauce.
Yeah, a lot of people do keto. Dr. Barry's wife does a meat based, like a heavy meat based keto. I think the definitions are, they vary from person to person, how people define it, and then you find things that work for you. Like, somebody up here was just saying that they added back in a salad and they felt really, really sick. and they would never do that again. So it's just, you're going to keep changing and tweaking it.
And I could definitely see how salads would make you feel sick because they're gross.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're
Like kale's
going to
nasty.
keep playing around with it. And I just think that it's awesome. And I think that, sorry, but the keto strips are awesome too, because you're not just like hypothetical. You can actually be
You
like,
see what's going on.
okay, if I add a salad in and I enjoy a salad and I tolerate a salad, can I do that? I'm not saying I'm adding salad, but like if somebody was like that, or whatever, you know, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. All right. So with that, we're gonna say good evening, y'all. And hey, subscribe to the Fearless Podcast. We have lots of great interviews rolling out. Matt's going to be doing some vlogging. Matt is starting vlogging again. So we have lots of great content getting ready to roll out. Hope you all have a great night. And we'll see y'all in the next video.